Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with a wrestling recap for you today. Before I get started, I just want to point out I added a little bit of things to the background. I got Princess Poppy from Choles, one of my daughter's Funko Pops. She wanted me to put up in the video. Put them right next to Dwight the Elf to protect her from Pennywise, which I'm sure would make Dwight Schrute very, very happy. I also added a little uh, keychain Freddy Krueger that I'm Groot's holding. I got all kinds of weird, goofy shit like this laying around the house, so I'll probably be adding it more and more as I come across and find the shit. But I'm lazy. Today I'm talking about NXT Takeover In Your House. This is the very first In Your House since April of 1999. And if you're like me, there's a good chance that a lot of people from the Attitude Era, a good chance, mathematically that is, that your first WWE pay-per-view you got to see wasn't In Your House. Mine was Breakdown, which was main evented by a triple threat between Stone Cold, Undertaker, and Kane, which is way more like a handicap, which I will maybe doing old school wrestling classic pay-per-view review for around September time. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe. Anyhow, we're talking about NXT's In Your House, and this was really, really awesome show. I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this was WWE's best show they've put on, well, since the last takeover, but it's definitely their best show since this whole faux apocalypse started up, you know what I mean? The opening match was a 6-woman. I got to talk about how since like the night after AEW's last pay per view, WWE finally started bringing in. It's the workers, it's people on contract as wrestlers. Just bring them in to cheer for the recorded matches. Last night it said live, but whatever. Uh, but I love the look. I love it was so refreshing to hear a crowd, to hear reactions to pops and to selling and moves. The plexiglass I got now is really distracting and silly. It was very smart of them to turn down the house lights more. That way it doesn't cause so much reflection on it. It's just gaudy and it's distracting. It's too bright, especially with the plexiglass. All that reflection going on. But the stage was great, man. I absolutely loathe the over like the last 10 years plus the WWE has had. Just their stage is just a big goddamn Titantron. I mean, you've always done that for Raw for well over 20 years. But I mean, it's gotten to the point where SummerSlam is just a Titantron. WrestleMania is just a Titantron with the damn show's logo on it. Watching the whole show, that's so lame. That's so uncreative. Make a fucking set. So we get the actual In Your House traditional set, not as detailed and as depth-wise as it was, but we got the garage, we got the front door. It was refreshing to see an actual set for a fucking pay-per-view show. The opening match, 6-woman tag team match. You got the heel team, which is Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez, taking on the babyface team of Mia Yim, Tegan Knox, and Shotzi Blackheart. This is two feuds here, intersecting. um, this is a good match. I really like this match. Candice LeRae gets lots of good heel heat in this. Raquel Gonzalez absolutely really comes off as a big dominant figure in this match. The finish was really cool. You have Mia Yim and Candice LeRae fight to the back, going back through the garage opening where everybody's coming out. They're fighting to the back, leading down to 2-on-2. Dakota Kai goes for the big boot. Shotzi gets pulled down, and Shotzi pulls Tegan down one or the other. She ends up accidentally hitting Raquel with the big boot. Tegan Knox hits chokeslam. Dakota Kai hits the Shining Wizard on Dakota Kai. Pins Dakota Kai to finally pick up a victory in their feud that's been running since War Games. And like I said, Dakota turned heel and attacked her partner Tegan back at War Games. Then they had a scuffle, not a match, but like a brawl through the crowd at Worlds Collide. And then they had the street fight at TakeOver Portland that Tegan won. Then they had a steel cage on NXT TV That Dakota won both those. So, Tegan, this is a more compelling kind of storytelling to me than just them going back and forth, like, say, Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns did over the last few years. Or Orton and Cena. I think it's more compelling when it seems like the heel gets the babyface's number, and when the babyface finally gets that victory, it means all the much more, like it did last night. Big victory for Tegan Knox. Great way to end the feud. Whereas you also set up Candice LeRae and Mia Yim because they battled to the brawl and they weren't even involved in the finish. This also guarantees to continue and escalate their feud. Good booking and storytelling all around in this opening match, to be honest with you. And to be straight up honest with you, these the two women's matches were actually my favorite matches of the night for the show. And it does help that they were cased. They cased the event. So, up next is Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. And I'm sorry, but what exactly happened to turn Finn Balor babyface again? He was the Demon Prince. He was attacking Johnny Gargano just because Gargano turned heel after their feud. He's all of a sudden baby. I don't mind rapid and nonsensical face and heel changes, but have them do something just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, after this big reveal of Finn Balor being a heel, we're just gonna jump to him being a babyface. No explanation, no reason, nothing happened to turn him face. He's just a face now, and I didn't like that. I don't like that. Anybody's taking on Damian Priest, and this again feels like some filler, because to the obvious down the road, WWE wants to do Balor versus Walter. Yeah, sure, no doubt. It's going to be a big money match. People are going to love to see that. So they put him in this match against another giant that, he hits his drop kick right before the ref isn't in the ring yet. And Finn Balor's on top of this son of a bitch. Hellacious match. Another really good match. Balor hits a forearm that knocks Priest off the apron where he lands like his higher lower back. He lands on top of the ring steps. Really gnarly, nasty looking bump right there. Balor hits a coup de grace to a standing Damian Priest, so the back of his head bent over, then hits coup de grace again, and gets the win in a hellacious match. Hellacious match here. But I really think, Damian Priest, I don't think he's won a single takeover yet. And, for a guy that was brought in as a killer and as a monster, and this beast, he just keeps jobbing out. You're not going to be, you can't sell a guy. How much longer can you sell this guy as a real ominous threat if he keeps losing when it matters? You know what I mean? Next up was the North American Championship, and I loved Johnny Gargano's entrance for this match, man. He comes out, they cut from him like he's actually walking through his own house. He got a poster, a portrait of Michael P.S. Hayes for some fucking reason. He checks his thermostat, that was great. And he walks through the front door instead of everybody else the whole show walks through the goddamn garage, and he goes right through the front door and locks it behind him and puts the key in his trousers. He stabbed Keith Lee in the eye last week on the Go Home show, so it's playing it's a callback. So Keith Lee defending the North American Championship against a freshly healed Johnny Gargano, who this heel run has been far better than his previous heel run last year, even though I still very much do not like the idea of Johnny Gargano being a heel. I mean, just certain guys, you should never turn heel, man. Rey Mysterio should never be a heel, even though he did okay as a heel. Kofi Kingston should never be a heel, even though he was a great fucking heel. Go back and watch his early heel shit from the New Day. Kofi's great at that shit. But anyhow, this and also I got into, Keith Lee comes out with his Black Lives Matter. I got into a huge argument late last night and early this morning on Facebook and shit. Look, man, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization, okay? They're bad people, and they don't care about anyone or anything other than their grip on power. So, that's all I got to say about it. Moving on. You might as well have KKK on your trunks, or a fucking Nazi flag, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with it. All right. This was a good match. This was a really cool match. I don't really like the dynamic of the smaller heel taking on the babyface. I mean, it's hard to take buy in and root for a guy as this valiant hero overcoming the odds when he's fighting a guy half his fucking size. You know what I mean? A great spot where he hits a pounce on the floor that knocks Johnny Gargano through the fucking plexiglass. That was great. Johnny Gargano uses the keys, jabs the eyes, hits a slingshot DDT. Keith Lee kicks out. And right there I knew, it's over. Keith Lee keeps trying to pin Keith. Keith is getting stronger and stronger, like hulking up with every kick out. He finally, gets his power back. Power bomb, jackhammer. Keith Lee retains the North American Championship. It was a good match. It was definitely kind of went a little long. Definitely the longest match of the night. But I don't know. You turn Johnny Gargano heel, and then he loses his first title shot, so you're kind of souring the momentum of his heel run right here, as far as I'm concerned. But who knows? Next up is a parking lot brawl, or backstage backlot brawl for the NXT Championship. This is the only pre-recorded match on the show. They claim, but it's Adam Cole has been the champion for a little over a year now, taking on the Velveteen Dream, who comes to the ring, drives Bumblebee to the ring, and gets out of his car looking like fucking Negan from The Walking Dead. Damn, dude. I didn't like how there's an actual ring. Have y'all not seen previous parking lot brawls? You know what I mean? But the match gets hellacious. It gets barbaric. The people sitting in their cars slapping, and you can't see anybody because it's so fucking dark. So I'm a little suspicious that a lot of that was pre-recorded, or maybe even the live attendance. But you do hear like honking of horns and shit like this. Eventually, the Undisputed Era drive up and they start interfering, and then creepy ass Dexter Lumis. I've never really been a fan of Sam Shaw, but I do think the Dexter Lumis gimmick is. I'm intrigued by it. I like his. They've been getting a little silly with it. I don't think I like the silliness. Keep him scary, keep him intimidating. Don't start making them have to. They need to squash that, like him doing portraits and paintings and shit like that. Anyhow, he comes up and like the whole idea of he's here to even the odds, but it's not. It's still 4-on-2. I mean, it's not even odds. But he's able to fight off the other members of the Undisputed Era. He locks him in his trunk and he drives away, bringing it back to 1-on-1. Velveteen Dream hits his rolling DVD. He scary spot where he hits the diving elbow drop on Adam Cole, who's in a chair like I am right now, and just like leaning right back. It goes right across the check in the neck and chest area. It was a nasty, scary looking spot. It really was. Don't do that. Don't ever do that again. Cole kicks out. He eventually comes back. He gets a moment opening. He hits the Canadian Destroyer on a pile of steel chairs, and then retains the the NXT Championship. This was weird to me because I figured Adam Cole's kind of beat everybody, and like everybody he's beaten are either getting call up or getting moved down. I really don't know. I mean, he got his feud with Loomis now. It doesn't seem like he's ready for a world title run. And also, it's odd that considering how long Cole has been champion and how long they built up this match, and that it was the pre-recorded and all their other cinematic style matches got so much praise over the last few months. It's really weird that this match is like right in the middle of the show. Anyhow, it's alright. Next up is we got Tommaso Ciampa taking on Karrion Kross, formerly known as Killer Kross, with a gorgeous Scarlett Bordeaux in his corner. A lot of people really seem to praise Kross's entrance. I don't know if I like it that much. I don't like the lip syncing. I like the whole, the light effects, the black and white. That's cool. But I don't like her coming out lip syncing the lyrics. I think that's kind of silly. Anyhow, take on Tommaso Ciampa, and this is pretty much a squash, man. Ciampa does a lot of his shit, gets a lot of thunder, but he eventually is just devastated and demolished by Kross. Kross locks in this nasty-looking version of a sleeper. They call it the straight jacket. That's cool. Keep that. Call your submission hold the straight jacket. I like that. And Ciampa gets choked out. Kross wins by submission. I was, in a lot of ways, actually distracted but because they like turned out the lights for the set in the background, so I kept feeling like, why did it get? I mean, it was already pretty fucking dark in this arena, which is better. Don't since you're on the ring, draw the eye focus to the ring as much as you can, especially when there's no people there. But it was learn something from the Indies, you dumbass. But it was kind of distracting because like now it's like really dark in here and I can barely fucking see. But yeah, Cross wins in a surprising victory, and again, he's heel, so is he gonna fucking feud with Adam? I don't know where the NXT title's going now. Main event time. Triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. It bothered me because I know the only reason this is the main event is because because it's Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? It's not because it's that much hype. It's not that it was the most anticipated match. I guess she's a bigger star than NXT itself. Fuck her. And it's like, to me, it's like, it's just kind of the same problem with the Brock Lesnar. With Brock Lesnar, that's like, how much of them being an entitled douchebag is actually just them and not some kind of heel character they're playing. But yeah, this was a really cool match. Rhea is wearing like this. She has one white. At first, I thought she had like a cast or something, but no, she's one white boot and she's black, totally black. Rest of her. She also has like her eyelids are like colored in to look like like creepy snake eyes or stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. Anytime her eyes are closed, she's laying on the mat. Looks like she's like turned into a vampire or some shit. I love the spot. They throw Charlotte throws Io Shirai through the stage set, and Io pops up on the fucking roof of the set and dives on the girls. Oh, that was awesome. That was so fucking awesome. The match goes long. It's a good match. Really good match. They really try to do everything they can with this match to make it the best you possibly can. You gotta give it to the girls. But it got to the point where I kind of felt that it was a little bit overbooked. Even though, I liked it a lot. I'm the guy who kind of argues there's no such thing as being overbooked. But yeah, this pushed it to me. I enjoyed the match quite a bit. The finish comes with Rhea. I think she hits her riptide off the rope on one of the girls. But the finish comes with Charlotte is like struggling to lock in the figure eight on Rhea Ripley. She finally locks it in. She gets the bridge in, and then Io Shirai comes out of nowhere with a moonsault right onto Rhea Ripley. I think the idea was she was supposed to land on the arc of the legs, but she lands right on Rhea Ripley, pins Rhea Ripley real fast, and Io Shirai is finally NXT Women's Champion. Now look, last year around this time at NXT Takeover 25, when she fought Candice LeRae. She came out with the new theme music and the new ring attire and the new attitude, and I thought it was great. Oh, just instant love for me. And so ever since, nobody in WWE has been impressing me more and been more in demand. I cannot get enough of Io Shirai. She's absolutely great. She's not, she's really fucking sexy, but it's her style in the ring. It's her attitude. It's a fresh character that you don't really get a lot, and fuck, the fucking Japanese girls are the best thing in WWE right now. But Io Shirai, and she gets the confetti and the pyros, or smoke machines, and balloons and streamers, and it felt like a proper celebration for a new champion. Compared to 2 months ago, Drew McIntyre winning the main event at WrestleMania in front of a crowd of 2 commentators who can't be bothered to stand and clap. This felt like a proper show. It felt like a proper main event. It felt like a proper championship victory, even though heel won the title. And just all around, this was a great show. It felt like wrestling again. It really did. I really, really had a good time last night. And I also want to say, I meant to double check this. It felt really short, that show too. Maybe I don't know if it was just a little over 2 hours, but it felt like a real short show. Maybe it just flew by that fast. Definitely check it out. Go check out all the shows that have happened since the COVID nonsense. This is the first WWE show I would recommend revisiting. down the line. A year or two from now, I'm going to want to go back and watch again the night Io Shirai won the title. I had a great time last night. Good show, all around. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You may have not been able to tell, but I'm very hungover. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.